February 2016. This is Sridham Mayapur, which is the center of the universe. Haribol! It's a fact. Sridham Mayapur is the actual center of the universe. You could say Kurukshetra, you could say other places, but Sridham Mayapur is the real center of the universe. So, today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, Chapter 2, text number 16. 16? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Come on, give it some gusto. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Evam viprakrite loke. Evam viprakrite loke. Datyendran ucharar muhu. Datyendran ucharar muhu. Datyendran ucharar muhu. It's a very long word, so we have to kind of break it down a little bit. Datyendran ucharar muhu. Datyendran ucharar muhu. Now let's try to say it together. Let's just break it down so we can practice on this, because it's a long and awkward word. Datyendran. Datyendran ucharar. Datyendran ucharar muhu. Divam deva parityaja. Bhuvi cheru alakshita. Evam viprakrite loke. Datyendran ucharar muhu. Divam deva parityaja. Bhuvi cheru alakshita. Evam viprakrite loke. Datyendran ucharar muhu. Divam deva parityaja. Bhuvi cheru alakshita. Next. Evam vakitvite loke. Then Divam deva parityaja. Bhuvi cheru alakshita. Evam viprakrite loke. Divam deva parityaja. Bhuvi cheru alakshita. Vaishnavis. Evam Bhakti Loke Daityan Ranucharamahu. Louder, please. You have to chant louder. Louder, please. Bhuvicharu alakshita vibhakite loke daitchananuchararamahu divam deva parichaya Bhuvicharu alakshita. Translation. Thus disturbed again and again by the unnatural occurrences caused by the followers of Hiranyakashipu, all the people had to cease the activities of Veda culture. Not receiving the results of Jagna, the demigods also became disturbed. They left their residential quarters in the heavenly planets and, unobserved by the demons, began wandering on the planet Earth to see the disasters. Sound familiar? That's where we are right now. Please repeat. Thus disturbed again and again. Louder with much more enthusiasm. Thus disturbed again and again. By the unnatural occurrences caused by the followers of Hiranyakashipu, all the people had to cease the activities of Vedic culture, not receiving the results of Jagna. The demigods also became disturbed. They left their residential quarters in the heavenly planets and, unobserved by the demons, began wandering on the planet Earth to see the disasters. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the performance of Jagna brings reciprocal good fortune for both the human beings and the demigods. When the performance of Jagna were stopped by the disturbances of the demons, the demigods were naturally bereft of the results of Jagna. Of course, bereft means not having at all. And hampered in executing their respective duties. Therefore, they came down to the planet Earth to see how people had become disturbed and to consider what to do. Say along with me, please. Om Agina Timrindasya Gina Gina Shalakya Chaksuan Minitam Gina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Gina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dharati Swapadantiham Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Jita Parakamanam Sri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagujatam Sagananu Gunitan Natamstam Saivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Varajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Param Sahagara Lalita Sri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Narakanta Namostate Taptakanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Sutadevi Puranabahi Parivi Vanchakalpa Karubhascha Kripasindhu Bevacha Patit Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Guruddhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Shri Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narotamam Devam Saraswatam Vyasam Atoram Madhurya Nasta Pariyeso Abhadreso Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Oh, this is very amazing because this here Bhagavat is describing what happened in Treta Yuga. Now, things were pretty nice in Treta Yuga in comparison to now in Kali Yuga with McDonald's, KFC, terrorism, rape, and all these things that people, you ask people, I do surveys to young people, I ask them, students, so how do you think, how's society today? Well, fine. Really? Oh, so you're okay with rape, murder, crime, abortion, unprecedented levels of abortion, and terrorism, and drought, and tsunamis, and the list gets longer and longer. You're okay with these things? Then they stop and think, maybe you have a point. You say, maybe it's not paradise after all, in this Kali Yuga, So this is the age of darkness. So the point is that actually this verse is describing today, not just Treta Yuga. Disturbed again and again by unnatural occurrences caused by the followers of Hiranyakashipu. All right, so we don't have a Maha Hiranyakashipu today, fortunately. But we have thousands and thousands of mini Hiranyakashipus on the planet, quite capable and empowered by Kali to wreak havoc, isn't it? We're experiencing so much crooked politicians all over the world, not just India. I mean, bribery is very easy in India. It's a little more sophisticated in the United States, You give campaign contributions to the United States. Corruption is going on all over the world. Prabhupada was the Shinga Guru on this subject matter. Kick on the head. He was not going to spare such corruption and deviation from pure Dharma. Well, that's where we are today also. Not receiving the results of the jugna, the demigods also became disturbed. So the demigods are disturbed by what's going on this planet today. Activities of demons. A few million Hindus doing a little Kali Puja, Shiva Puja, Ganesh Puja. That's not enough to counteract the disaster of this age. Because in this age, only the holy name, Yuga Dharma, can do it. Everyone please. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama Eva Kevala, Kalua Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata. Again, please, with 3 times more enthusiasm. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama Eva Kevala, Kalua Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata. One more time. Harinama, Harinama, Nama Eva Kevala, Kalua Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata. There's no other way. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. In Vedic culture, you want to emphasize something, you say it 3 times. So Mahaprabhu said, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. Other efforts will be half-baked, or they'll be partial, or a drop in the bucket. Can't do very much. Only the Yuga Dharma can save the situation. So, the demigods are disturbed. But this Krishna consciousness movement introduced by Srila Prabhupada is saving the planet. Haribol. Prabhupada has written in I believe it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this Krishna consciousness movement will go down in history of saving the world in its hour of darkness. Now, if anybody thinks that the world is not in its hour of darkness right now, please, have your head examined. We are already in the hour of darkness, with at any moment wars breaking out all over the world, so much homelessness. Just like people think the United States is a paradise, there are at least more than 1 million homeless people in the United States. In India, they can't imagine such a thing. They think the The U.S. is a heavenly planet. And when you take out a visa application to go to the United States, and Indian or foreigners take out a visa application to go to the United States, right at the top of the visa application it says, at the top of the application it says in bold letterings, "We presume that you're going to try to stay." It's a fact. That's what the visa application says. Now, whoever wants to go to the heavenly planet called the United States, they don't know how much homelessness there are. People in the United States that go to sleep at night without eating and so forth. These things are going on. So, actually, I asked Srila Prabhupada personally, I said, Srila Prabhupada, the United States is just like a heavenly planet. You go to supermarkets and there's everything is there. In the U.S. you can buy imported jams and jellies, real fruit, and packaged goods, packaged cereals, canned goods, and very fresh produce from various places around the world. It's like a paradise except for the meat department. So I asked you to Prabhupada, it is so much like a heavenly planet and so much opulence and all that, but there's no jugna to support it. Of course, I was thinking of the Bhagavad Gita, Jagna Vaya Vishnu, that, Anat Bhavanti Bhutani. I was thinking of that shloka, grains are produced by Jagna. I didn't spell it out. I didn't have to. Obviously, I'm dealing with Prabhupada. I didn't have to spell it out. Anat Bhavanti Bhutani. I didn't have to say the verse. He knew perfectly well what I was talking about. So I said, there's all this prosperity, but there's nothing to sustain it because this prosperity is sustained by Jagna, and there's no Jagna. He said, very ominously, he said, it will not last. Very soon it will be finished. So what we see today in the modern world is the dying throes of modern civilization. Like if you kill an animal, it shakes for a while before it finally dies. It's rather gruesome. So that's where we are as a so-called civilization right now, in the death throes, and things are getting worse and worse. Economic collapses. The euro almost collapsed. They put it together with sellotape. Do you know why? Do you know why the goddess of fortune allows the world economy to keep limping along? Do you know why? Because of this Sankirtan movement, this Krishna consciousness movement. This book distribution has to go on. If we have no vehicles and no money, well, it will hamper our preaching. We're not so expert to go out barefoot in the streets with what's left of the books and so forth. We want to print more and more books. We want to distribute. We want to do all these things. Preaching, television, media now. We see how ISKCON is using the media. So Krishna, when Goddess of Fortune says, these people are too sinful, I want to collapse the economy, Krishna says, all right, well, yes, you're right, yes, I know, but just keep it going a little longer, because look, see my devotees, look at all the wonderful things they're doing, like the 50th anniversary celebration in Calcutta, historical event, and whole of India watching on the television, the world taking note of these things. So Krishna keeps it together with sellotape. It is Krishna who restored the euro, not the bankers. Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. If he wanted it to collapse, it would collapse overnight. But no, with sellotape they managed to run here and there and do some fancy dancing and paste it back together again so that the euro is still going in spite of so many bankrupt nations. How do you call this progress? So many nations in Europe, the United States is also bankrupt. But it's blind faith thing. People still have faith in the U.S. dollar. Wherever I go traveling, they want dollars if they can get it. It's a mythology. They worship the dollar, you know. But anyways, the point is that all this is going to come to an end. So when Prabhupada said to me, very soon it will be finished, but I was so shaken up by his statement, I didn't have the presence of mind to say, but Srila Prabhupada, what does very soon mean? Well, I asked the question, 35 years ago or something like that. But we see the symptoms of the world today of deterioration and collapse. The symptoms are there. The 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita makes it very clear. Just like Hiranyakasipu and his men were doing here, the demons are engaged in horrible, unbeneficial works meant to destroy the world. They want to get their sense gratification out of it. They destroy the world in order to bring that about. So they won't stop at anything. Murder, drug dealing. There was one big international banker was financing drug smuggling. Well, he got caught. Did he get punished? No. Did he get put in jail? No. But if somebody smokes one, reefer, they can get, 10 years in jail or something like that. There's one story about a veteran, a war veteran, and he got like 10 years in jail for one reefer or something. This is Kali Yuga. Justice will be determined by how much money you have. You see? This is proven time and again. So, this disturbance is going on, and this Krishna consciousness movement is the only hope. There's no other hope because everything is going down. Now, the challenge that we face is to clean our own house. We have to clean our own house. Because we're chanting Hare Krishna, because we stick our hand into a bead bag, and sincere devotees chant 16 rounds, and because we are trying to follow Srila Prabhupada, those that are sincere. So, yet at the same time, Krishna consciousness is not automatic. It's not mechanical. It's what you do in the name of Krishna. It's what you do in the name of Srila Prabhupada. That's what counts, not what's on paper. So there's two things, Gyan, knowledge, and Vigyan. Generally we have more emphasis on Gyan than on Vigyan. Vigyan is the practical application. We have to execute the practical application of Srila Prabhupada's teachings. The teachings of the Shastra. We have to live by it. We have to breathe it. We have to walk it. Now they say talk is cheap. So talking it is not enough. It's breathing it, living by it. How we behave with others. How are we treating others, especially other devotees? It does not matter how many years you've been in this movement. That is not how you measure advancement in Krishna consciousness. Supposing you've been devotee for 30 years. Jai. Okay, fine. You got some nishta, some steadiness. But if your heart is hard, it's a very low-grade nishta, isn't it? Yes? No? Maybe nishta of the lowest quality. If the heart, Srila Rupa Goswami says, steel-framed. We see many 30-year devotees with steel-framed heart, lacking compassion, lacking mercy, lacking tolerance after 30 years of practicing Krishna consciousness. Lack of humility, puffed up, Dr. Frog. This is going on. And impersonalism. Senior, I don't know what it's like in the ladies' sector, but amongst the men, I find ice-cold impersonalism even amongst senior devotees. You know, I joined the movement in 1967, took initiation in 1968. Now I'm a sannyasi. Of course, these things are external. That's fine. But when I walk around, many of my god brothers that I have known for decades don't even say Hari Bol. Don't even go like this with a mini pranams. Ice cold. Then where's the advancement? Real advancement in Krishna consciousness means you become soft-hearted. Is it not? Yes, no? If you're hard-hearted, if you can't even go like this when you see a sannyasi, the Shastra says that you should bow down and offer obeisances when you see a sannyasi, or you have to fast. I'm not making that up. That's what the Shastra says. But it's not that a sannyasi walks around expecting all the time everybody's going to hit the deck and Dandavat pranams. And it is not for the self-aggrandizement of the sannyasi. It is not for the false ego of the sannyasi. It is culture. It is genuine. It is real civilization. Then we have to do a reality check. Where do you want to be 30 years from now in your Krishna consciousness? Do you want to be hard-hearted? Do you want to be externally successful? Do you want to just climb the corporate ladder and get a pat on the head from big men? Is that what you want? Or do you actually want to go to Braj? If you just want to climb the corporate ladder, you can do that. You can distinguish yourself in your service. You can work very hard on the excuse that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, work now, samadhi later. Now that statement by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of course that's very important, but that's because he didn't want his men to be lazy. Sit back, eat lots of prasadam. He didn't like it when his sannyasis were overweight. You know, he didn't want his men to be lazy. Just eat lots of prasadam. Let's do a little bhajan, say a few shlokas, and eat some more prasadam and take a nap. He didn't want that. You know, so he said, work now, samadhi later, to prevent laziness. But is that all in all? It has been misinterpreted. That famous statement by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has been misinterpreted. So the result is, if you interpret that statement by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then you neglect inner development. It's something that Ayendra Prabhu constantly, non-stop stressed. Inner development in Krishna consciousness. If you don't develop the inner nature, if you don't become soft-hearted, you miss the whole point. We see devotees are sometimes cruel. See a dog, kick it. Is that Krishna consciousness? Is that what, you know? Gorkishore Das Babaji. He was taking prasad, and then there was a female dog moved in somewhere near his hut. So 5 puppies came to his hut. They were going to eat prasad off his plate, you know. And so his servant freaked out. And, you know, and he was freaking out, you know. So the Gorkishore Das Babaji says, don't do that. They're down basis. You do like that, I will fast. Oh, so should we take example from materialistic Prakriti Bhakta? You can be a 30-year devotee and still be a Prakriti Bhakta. Materialistic. If your heart has not softened. If you can pass another senior Vaishnava and not even say Hari Bol, then your Granti is very strong. Granti means the knock in the heart is very strong. Impersonalism. In so many ways, our movement is actually infected by impersonalism. Not exactly Mayavadi philosophy, just coldness in dealings between certain levels of devotees. You know, this must be measured against what Shastra says. You know, we're supposed to follow what the Shastra says. we're supposed to follow. If you study, I would request all of you to study the lives of the Vaishnava Acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya. These biographies available. I have them. I have the complete set of biography in my computer. If anybody wants to bring a pen drive, I can give it to you. Biographies of the Vaishnava saints, and study their dealings. Not only our problem, but previous Acharyas, Sadhu Goswamis. What is Vaishnava behavior? We're supposed to know. We have to know. The Vigyan, the practical application, we have to know how to apply these teachings. Otherwise, what will happen is, I was watching at the ILS, it's called Leadership Sangha. I was watching, they were showing the films of devotees going out on the streets and introducing people to the Mahamantra for the first time, part of the 50th anniversary celebration. So they were getting people just chant Hare Krishna, happy peace, and people laughing and smiling and ecstatic, Hare Krishna, ecstatic, happy, chant to be happy. They're brand new to Krishna consciousness. They chant and they're happy. You get it? They're brand new to Krishna consciousness. But sometimes, what is it? After 30 years, chant and be happy. Chant and be happy, Prabhu. Is it like that? Is that advancement in Krishna consciousness? You see? You will get what you want because Krishna consciousness movement, the Shastra, a teaching is Srila Prabhupada, the Shastra is a desire tree. You'll get what you want out of it. If you want to become a big man or a big woman, you can do that. But what's going on internally? If we neglect the internal development, then we can be going mechanically. And I can have a big position. But what is the merit if I'm hard-hearted? I missed the point. We have to take example from the Acharyas. Read it, please. If you want, give me your pen drive. I have it right here in my computer. Lives of Vaishnava Acharyas. And what are their sweet and loving relationships? Always placing the topmost value on other devotees without consideration of their rank. You understand? Yes? Without consideration of their position. Is he a big devotee? Oh, Is he famous? Or is he not famous? The real Vaishnavas don't make those considerations. Well, why shall we make those considerations? Those considerations are Prakrita Bhakta. I don't care if you've been chanting for 30 years. Prakrita Bhakta. Kanista Adhikari. Or actually what we have in our movement is generally a mixture between Kanista and Madhyam. Because a Kanista can't do what's done in this movement, but we have many who are a mixture between Kanista and Madhyam, who are preaching and doing all kinds of things. But our mixture between, not 100% Madhyam. You might think, well, if they're preaching, they must be Madhyam. Yes, but are they 100% Madhyam? I came across a very shocking statement by Srila Prabhupada. It shook me up, actually. Prabhupada said, anyone who is attached to honor is a Kanista Adhikari. The first thing that happened was I said, oh my God. I'm always thinking that I'm a Madhyam Adhikari of some sort, maybe not very high level Madhyam, but I'm always thinking I'm a Madhyam Adhikari. I can preach, I can increase the faith in the hearts of devotees in 1 hour and new men and all that, and I can do many things being by mercy of Prabhupada, but can I say that I'm free from the desire, honor? No. You understand? Yes, no. So then I myself am holding up the mirror, because in the Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that the introspective sage. So we have to hold up the mirror and look within ourselves. Where am I spiritually? Now we live in a world of demons, as is clearly stated here, and these same things are still going on in Kali Yuga and getting worse and worse. How can we reform the world unless we actually have compassion tolerance, love. What will happen to these thousands of innocent people that we're bringing into Krishna consciousness? Chanting, they become ecstatic. They love chanting Hare Krishna. They get into the movement, and then they find out that some leaders are hard-hearted. What's that going to do to their faith? They find out that some leaders are intolerant. What's that going to do to their faith? Because everyone in this movement, whether they're so-called big devotees, whether they are officially acharya, or whether they are just passing out books, in any case, every single devotee must be a mini acharya. Why? Because we're representing Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. People cannot see Krishna. He is God. He's unapproachable. The tip of his toenails cannot be approached even by yogis. But Prabhupada is making available. So representing Krishna, all they know about Krishna is the devotee. That's all they know. Whatever opinion they develop about Krishna will depend on the quality of presentation made by the first devotee that they talk to, isn't it? Everyone has this experience. If you enliven them, inspire them, and get them going in chanting and get them going in reading Prabhupada's books, then that's called real preaching. Then they get favorable impression of Krishna consciousness and they carry on, want more association like that, you know. So our duty is non-stop always representing Krishna. Mini acharya, never mind position. That's not just if you sit on Vyasasan, you're acharya. Not like that, you know. Not if you just have special position. That is very good. But everyone must be mini acharya, at least small acharya. By our example and precept, we have to teach Krishna consciousness by our example. Then there will be the ultimate Hare Krishna explosion. When we are, the movement is exploding, expanding, but we want quality as well as quantity, isn't it? Yes? And we have to be very careful about institutionalism because, you know, there's pratistha. Pratistha means position, attachment, and that can strengthen the granthi or the knot in the heart, you know, and can cause one to chant 10th offense. If you are attached to position, honor, and power and whatever, then that is a 10th offense, certainly. Then there will be trouble, as we see that many of my God brothers who were very, very dedicated, but because of the 10th offense, then in turn the Hatimata, the great mad elephant offense against Vaishnavas. And so of my greatest God brothers that had the most impressive results externally, millions of books distributed, thousands of devotees made, opened so many temples. Those that fell down, why? Was Krishna unappreciative? Should we conclude that Krishna didn't appreciate their hard work and glorious accomplishments? No. Hatimata. In each and every case, Hatimata, Vaishnava Parad. Puffed up, proud, pratistha. It's a killer. So, we have to be careful. We have to think about that shloka in Bhagavad Gita, the introspective sage. We have to hold up the mirror and look inside her, and we have to give ourselves an honest report card. Just like I'll conclude by reading this, one of my favorite shlokas from the Bhagavatam. Shumantam Sakatam Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyanta Sto Hyabradani Vidonati Sritsitam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart, and is the benefactor of the truthful devotee. And I think, I don't tell lies. No, it's deeper than that, but we don't have time to discuss. The truthful devotee cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages. That means a little bit of ruchi, at least, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So we have to be truthful. We have to hold up the mirror. what is my progress? We have to give ourselves our own progress report, you see, not just wait until somebody else, and it's not in West, just wait until a superior corrects us. We ourselves have to do constant self-evaluation. Then we can progress and the movement can progress. Thank you very much. Jagaguru Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Ganantara Shima Bhagdam ki jai. Shri Panchatattva ki jai. Shri Radha Madhava Ashtasaki ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. I'm so sorry.